This is the third in a series of 3 videos. Each video examines a different myth of gifted education and asks the questions, what is at the heart of the myth? Why is it wrong? Why is it dangerous? The third myth is that gifted students have emotional and social issues. Where does the myth come from? For a long time, the major consensus amongst gifted researchers has been that gifted children have superior emotional and social adjustment in comparison to their non-gifted peers. This dates back to early longitudinal studies by Terman as well as Hollingworth. Traditionally, debunking this myth has been a common component of both pre-service and in-service training efforts, as well as most public awareness efforts. More contemporary research, however, provides some new perspectives on the so-called myth. First of all, methodological issues throw some doubt on early research. Altman points out the confounding socio-economic factors in the Terman studies. That is, that the subject sample was disproportionately representative of the higher socio-economic classes. In more recent times, researchers and educators have become particularly sensitive to the inadequacies of traditional intellectual and academic criteria in identifying gifted children among lower socio-economic groups and minority cultures. Another issue with early research is that Terman and Hollingworth were both looking at students who were already achieving. There was no room in the definition for gifted underachievers or students with other learning issues. Since the 1980s, research suggests that gifted children do indeed appear to have certain social and emotional issues in common, including heightened sensitivity, emotional intensity and reactivity, feeling different, perfectionism, and uneven development of intellectual and emotional areas. Margaret Plunkett and Leonie Kronborg found that grouping students in an extended curriculum program in a Melbourne school had social and emotional benefits for children. High-ability students were grouped in relevant talent domains. Ability grouping can help to negate what Gross terms the forced choice dilemma. This is where gifted students face the choice between the drive for excellence or the attainment of intimacy. What this means is that students may dumb themselves down to maintain friendships, or else pursue excellence at the expense of having friends. Gifted students may feel that they have to play down their abilities so that they don't appear too different and can achieve social acceptance. Placement in inappropriate social contexts where peers have dissimilar academic goals and motivational orientations may have very problematic implications for highly able students, particularly in early adolescence, which is a time of particular vulnerability. We all need people who accept us as we truly are, and this requires understanding. Silverman has noted that with highly gifted children, the greater the difference between the child's abilities and the abilities of others in his or her social group, the greater the potential for loneliness and problems in social adjustment. Furthermore, educators who have observed and taught in such situations report that the opportunity to interact with like-minded others increases their self-esteem and ability to relate to heterogeneous groups. Gifted children have been found to have more advanced social and emotional maturity than chronological peers in areas such as friendship patterns, social knowledge, personality, and play interests. They also tend to prefer friends that are their intellectual equal. Highly gifted students may find that they gravitate towards adults and older children in order to find satisfying peer relationships. Overall, the myth that gifted children have social and emotional issues, while not completely wrong, is highly flawed. While gifted students may have particular social emotional issues, these can be ameliorated very quickly if they are put with like-minded individuals so that they no longer feel marginalised, can have real friendships without having to hide who they really are, and be in a supportive environment in which emotional traits like excitability are accepted. There are some gifted children that have emotional and social issues, but this is no more than the wider population unless schools fail to provide appropriately for them. Myths that are believed in tend to come true. If gifted students are seen as having intrinsic social and emotional issues, educators may be less likely to reflect on their own practice. They may not recognise when a gifted child is failing to have their needs met. Teachers who believe this myth may feel powerless to improve emotional and social outcomes for gifted students and not realise that they can provide interventions that may help. Schools may be less likely to reflect on whether social and emotional issues may be being caused by a failure to cater to students' specific learning needs through gifted programs.